Hi, I'm Wendelin Van Draanen, and this is Mark Parsons, and we are the traditionally published authors of dozens of books, and we've started this channel to try to give you information that's legitimate about the publishing industry and also about the craft of writing. There's a lot of misinformation on the internet now, people trying to make money off of you and your dreams of being a writer. And when you dig a little bit, just a little bit, you will find that they have no actual legitimate publishing credentials. So we've started this in hopes to counterbalance that a little bit. And we hope that you'll come and check in with us weekly to get some more insights into the craft and business of writing.
But most importantly, to have some coffee.
Oh yes, have coffee with Mark. This week, we are going to be talking about 7 reasons why you may want to reconsider wanting to become a writer. This is not negative. This is just something like prepare yourself.
Okay, so reason number 1. Don't become a writer if you have thin skin. Rejection is absolutely, positively, 1,000% part of the process.
And painful.
And painful. Yeah, not really. So that's kind of the secret, is to learn how to accept rejection without pain, because rejection is going to be part of your daily life as a writer. Everybody you see on the shelves down at your local indie bookstore or at Barnes & Noble, every single one of those authors has a stack of rejection letters this high at one point in time. And even after you start getting published, you still get rejections. You get editors don't like your ideas, or agents don't like this or this. There's always somebody out there saying, this could be a little bit different. This could be a little bit better. That's just, and then once the book is up and running, even a copy editor, everybody will have ideas about how you can improve your work. So the secret is you have to take those things, take the good, ignore the bad, and don't take it personally. Just, it's part of the job. So if you have thin skin, that's probably the number 1 reason not to become a writer.
But the good news is that you can toughen up. With enough of it, you will learn that everything Mark just said is true.
Of course.
And that it's actually, people are trying to help you. So you can toughen up. But in the very beginning, having thin skin is very, very painful. The second reason would be that you expect to become an overnight success. There really is no such thing as an overnight success, or it's a very, very rare thing. Most authors have a lot of trunk novels. I know I have a lot of trunk novels. It took me 10 years to break in, but that's just kind of par for the course for a lot of authors. So if you expect to be an overnight success, maybe think about this again.
Okay, the third reason not to become a writer is that your big goal is to get published. In this weird kind of counterintuitive thing. If you take writers and break them into 2 groups, those whose primary goal is to get published and those whose primary goal is to write, just to become better writers. The funny thing is, this second group is much more likely to get published than the first group, because the first group is probably going to, if they don't really love what they're doing, they're probably going to give up before they get good enough to actually get published. Whereas the second group, if their primary goal is, I love writing, I want to write, I enjoy writing, this is something I identify as a writer in my core, those people are probably going to hang in there long enough to actually get good enough to get to the point where they can get published.
The love of the craft is what's going to get you through what it's going to take to be published.
Yeah.
So, and if you don't have that, if you have a love of publishing as opposed to the love of the craft, you might not make it.
And especially because of the internet, there are many people out there who play that I need to get published game without realizing that. It's kind of funny. The more you want X, the less likely you are to get X. But the more you want Y, which is the love of the craft and writing, the more likely you are to actually get published.
To get X.
Yeah, exactly.
Get to X via Y.
That's right.
The next reason is that you're not really open to feedback, either from your beta readers, from somebody that you would trust with your novel to read them. They may give you feedback, and if your initial response is that, no, that's not going to work for me, or no, I understand what I'm doing, but you don't. If you're not open to the feedback that somebody else gives you, you probably won't get to the stage where you'll be able to work with an editor who's going to give you a lot of feedback, or an agent who's going to give you feedback. So if you're not someone who is yet open to the idea of feedback and then assessing that feedback and really kind of considering it seriously,
And applying it.
then you may not want to be a writer.
Okay, number 5 is pretty simple, is another good reason to not become a writer is that you don't actually love the craft of writing. Something I say all the time is that, don't tell my editor, but I would pay to write. And that's actually true. I absolutely love writing. It's not always easy. It's not always fun. Sometimes it's very painful. It's like pulling teeth. But overall, I really enjoy the process of writing. This afternoon, when we get done making this, I'm going to go back to the office and I'm going to continue working on my novel that I've been grinding away on for a while. And I'm actually looking forward to that. If you don't feel that way about writing, you probably shouldn't become a writer, because you probably won't hang in there long enough to get to the point where a publisher will actually pay you to write, which is the goal.
Again, do it for the love of the craft. That's the bottom line, really,
Absolutely.
for all of this.
Yep.
And number 6 is, you might not want to be a writer if you don't know how to embrace revision. And revision is one of those things. And we've talked about it before, but it really is true that the writing that you do is fun for you. The revision that you do is what makes what you've written fun for someone to read. So revision is such a big part of the whole writing process. And if you are not open to like serious revision, you may not want to be a writer.
I remember once reading that the number one thing editors are looking for in an author, outside of a good story, of course, is the willingness to revise.
Yeah.
That is it. If they're looking at 2 different manuscripts and they're both equal, and this person doesn't want to revise and this person does,
yeah,
this person.
And when
I
was first starting and I would get editorial notes, they were really hard for me to look at objectively and to understand, in my heart, why it was that this was something necessary. But the more I did the revision process, the more I came to understand that it's quite a gift when someone gives you revision notes. And it's one of those things that it pulls you outside of the kind of the constraints of what it is that you have envisioned for your work and allows you to see kind of a broader picture of it. So revision is one of those things that is very difficult at first, but the more you do it, the better you get at it, and the more you will like it.
Okay, the final reason not to be a writer is that you think you're going to get rich quick. So we're going to do a whole thing about the kind of the finances of the publishing industry later on. But the short story is, very unlikely that you are going to make buckets of money right away. So kind of pass on that. Again, it all boils down to the love of the craft.
So if these 7 things you're okay with, then you may want to be a writer, because writing really is awesome. If you can get past these 7 things, writing really is a joy. So we hope you'll continue. Remember, dream big, work hard, don't give up.
Keep writing. Wait for it.
Wait for it.
Wait for it.
I've already forgotten.
Don't hold your breath. Wait for it. Make some popcorn.